Hey boys, today I'm going to go through the entire line of swords starting from season 1 all the way to current season. So let's just jump into it. Okay, so let's start from where I fell in love with the sword. Season 1. Now season 1 was chaotic as all hell. We had nukes, the F-car was an absolute menace, and the RPG could insta-kill every light. But even through all that, I managed to find my love, my boy, the sword. Now, sword was a completely different beast from season 1 to season 7. Oh man, bro. It didn't have any multi-hit. But you know what it did have? It had A, the ability to kill people, and B, cancels, baby! We had emote cancels, we had gadget swap cancels, we had phantom strikes, baby. We had it all! And we truly did not know what we had until it was gone. Cancels back then was possibly the only way to play sword. The time to kill was so high that if anyone looked at a light the wrong way and sneezed, they would disintegrate into nothing. I will say, emote cancels, phantom strikes, they were a little busted back in the day. Emote cancels allowed you to instantly recover from your lunge. And phantom strikes with the gadget swap, oh my lord, bro, you could instantly kill heavies within 2 lunges. It was basically the same time to kill as a medium. Is insane. Shit was bonkers. In comes the first sword nerf. A very minor one. It wasn't huge back in the day and no one really knew about it. In patch 1.6, they made that after you did a lunge and then you did a gadget swap, there is a time frame from when you can left click again. That was it. That was the nerf they did. It was very minor because then you could still do the double lunge. I do have a clip of old sword and what it used to do. I've only got one solid clip of what it used to do, but my God, this shit was nuts, boys. Nuts. Have a look at that. Look at that. I miss you. Okay, so I couldn't tell you exactly when it happened. I tried looking it up through the Steam patches, but honestly, I don't think they even announced it happened. They removed emote cancels in like the middle of season 2, around June-ish 2024, which, you know, was fine with me. I didn't really like emote cancels to begin with. I never used emote cancels. So I was fine with them being gone because I still had my golden child. Gadget swap. And then there was a buff in disguise for sword for 2.6. You could cancel quick melees, which on the surface doesn't look like much, but I could tell from the get-go that this was going to be useful. So I learned it. And essentially, it's lunge, quick melee, gadget swap, so you're canceling the quick melee, and then you could left click. The left click still had the cooldown, but because you're adding a quick melee in already anyway, it meant that the time frame between that cooldown wasn't even that long anyway. Now, I'm about to talk about the single most insane time frame that the sword ever existed in. At around patch 2.10, another patch they didn't announce anything happened, multi-hit was introduced into the game. Yes, before season 3 where they actually introduced multi-hit was in season 2.10. And this was a time before they removed gadget swap. So you had sword's insane single target damage, but at the same time, you also had the ability to multi-hit as well, which means you could multi-hit 3 guys, gadget swap, multi-hit 3 guys. Shit was bonkers, bro. Bonkers. But sadly, as we all know, we came to the worst season, season 3, where they took away my boy, F's in chat. Season 3 had the most flop of a season yet. They did, however, bring out my favorite weapon, bow, but they also changed ranked mode into terminal attack. Ooh, cringe. Terminal attack was a 5v5 Counter-Strike inspired game mode. And yikes, bro, this thing was garbage, man. And that was a full season of that. People left in droves, man. They left. But we're not here to talk about the terrible, terrible choice of season 3. We're here to talk about gadget swap. If I had control of the devs, I would have told them, hey, devs, don't give sword multi-hit. Leave cancels. It'll be fine. Because gadget swap canceling, in my opinion, was the epitome of skill expression. If you gadget swapped too early, you didn't get the hit. But if you timed it perfectly, You could roll through people. It was amazing. It was fucking awesome, bro. It was so good. It's sad we don't have him today. And it's sad instead we have 6.3 sword, which we'll get to. But gadget swapping will not be forgotten. Love you, brother. Then, during Season 3, once I was starting to finally get used to no gadget swapping and only multi-hitting, I was actually really starting to get a handle on this weapon. The devs did something in Season 4 that made people focus way more on sword than they used to. And for some reason, on patch 4.0, they buffed it. Why? I don't know. It didn't need a buff, but they buffed it. For some reason, they gave the sword the ability to maintain its momentum throughout the whole lunge duration and gave the entire lunge duration a whole extra meter of movement. I don't know why, but I was thankful at the time. But I knew in my heart it would just make people think that this sword thing is a problem. And lo and behold, 6 patches later, what happens? The devs think sword is a problem. And what do? Do they revert it back to Season 3? No, that would be crazy. What did they do then? They made the secondary attack shorter than the primary attack. You know, the lunge, the thing that would sound like it's longer than a swing, a lunge. Yeah, it got decimated, dude. It was literally shorter than the primary. I tested this shit. They also made the lunge distance feel shorter and clunky, and it felt really off. And still to this day, it doesn't feel great. Why not revert it back to Season 3? Because these devs, for some reason, rarely admit that they're wrong and revert. They just change it in a different way. Why? I don't know. And so, we had to wait a little over a full season. On patch 5.8, they gave it back its 55 centimeters. Yippee! They did, however, leave the clunky lunge. Sad, but you know, I took what I could and I rolled with it. And things were good. For a time. This patch, this current State of Sword patch 6.3, is now 7.3, is by far the worst patch ever made to this weapon. I would have preferred the other sword. That's literally better than this. If the sword was once a sword, this is a wet noodle. This is nothing. This patch fucks with every damage number you've ever had with sword. Every combo is now obsolete and you now need a new one. You want to kill a light? Good luck, King. Even though all the burst weapons on a light can kill a light instantly, sword can no longer do that. You know, things like the double barrel, the matter, the sniper, the bow, the dagger, and not to mention all the other weapons have insane time to kills. Any light that just runs dash against the sword instantly wins. Unless you're also running a sword, then it's a coin toss. What about heavies? What can you do about heavies? Good luck, King. Do you enjoy whacking on something and hoping it'll die, but it never does? Play the sword. Have a good time. The only class I'm okay with dealing with these days is medium. But even then, man, the heals of Season 6 are so insane that I can't even consistently kill them. Do you not understand how insane that is? Well, what now? I don't know, to be honest. This game is burning me out. I do enjoy other weapons in this game, don't get me wrong, but sword, he was my goat. And now, because the devs won't properly balance it, it leaves the weapon in kind of like a limbo state. A lot like how the stun gun was for a full season. You know, how it was locked out? It's basically that. You could play it, but you're throwing. Sword's not the only melee though. Sledge, dagger recently got nerfed, which is a whole video in on itself, which I'll do by the way. My hope is that the devs see the videos that I've been making and see the community's outcry, that there's a whole community of melee players that love this game so much because of how it felt in Season 1. I'm talking all the melees, bro. And now they feel neglected, bro. neglected as fuck. But playing melee at this current moment in time almost feels pointless. The only exception, I would say, is Dagger. Dagger is the only one where I can see it working. But even then, because light is so frail and it doesn't have the movement of sword, Dagger is still quite hard to consistently make work. You can, but it's very, very hard. I'm gonna make a video soon about the entire state of melee, so give me a sub, and I will see you guys in the finals.